What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Happy Sunday. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're excited for the market to be open tomorrow. I know I am. Milo, you said in a comment just a little bit ago how you feel bad wishing the weekend away, and sometimes I do too. But the markets are so freaking exciting right now, and there's so many opportunities. In this video, I have to thank a particular subscriber, Gypsy Thread, for putting me on to MP Materials. And I want to go over this comment thread because she shares some really good information about this company. So here's the first comment. Richard, on another note, check out MP, massive potential. MP stands for massive potential. No, it doesn't. I'm kidding. But they're the only rare earth miner, EV battery material, etc. in the U.S. working on the technology to process those materials here in the U.S. instead of having to send it to China. Huge potential. So after this comment, I looked into this company like crazy, did a bunch of research. This industry is very complicated. I am not an expert in rare earth metals. I have no idea about the mining industry. But the more I read about this company, the more excited I get about this opportunity. Now, this company, this industry, very specific industry of rare earth metals, is crucial to our national security, because right now MP Materials, they mine 15% of the raw earth material in the entire world from this one site. So they're a big company. They're already profitable. But what do they have to do with that material? They have to send it to China for processing. There is no processing center for rare earth metals in the entire Western Hemisphere. And that's what MP is working on as we speak. That's what they were going to do with the money from this SPAC merger. They were a SPAC. They're going to be producing this material. They're going to be the only processor in the entire Western Hemisphere within the next couple of years. That's the goal. So that's why I want to talk about this company. One thing that Gypsy pointed out here, the biggest catalyst for MP will be developing the technology to convert the raw material. Right now, just like we talked about, we as a country send all deep earth material to China for EV conversion, and then it's sent back. Once they develop this tech, not only will they be the only rare earth metal mine in the US, they'll be the only one with this tech. So this is a really good point. So if a competitor does pop up in the future, it'll have to rely on MP or send to China for conversion. So I did watch another video. I've watched a bunch of videos about this company and on some other stock channels that try to analyze the data, and they're really treating this company kind of like a commodity company in a way. And that's kind of how I feel. And as crucial as this could be to our national security, I'm going to try not to treat it like a mining company or like a commodity, sorry. I'm going to treat it like something a little bit different. Now, if you look at commodities in general, when price goes up, normally producers jump in. In this case, it would be miners, right? As MP says it themselves, these rare earth metals aren't actually super rare in the earth, but they're relatively difficult to process. So when they develop the processing technologies, and then when the price goes up as the EVs, the battery industry, the EV industry, the windmill industry, these are all industries that use rare earth metals. When those industries start using more of these metals, the supply, right, will likely decrease. The price will go up because of those constraints, and other miners will jump in. But what are they going to do? They don't have the billions and billions of dollars or the time that MP Materials has to put into processing. They're either going to ship the material to China or they're going to ship it to MP. MP has committed to being a low-cost provider in this space, to directly competing with China's prices. So this is really exciting, really exciting company. I want to pull up this presentation here. I'm going to link this in the description because I think it's really important that you don't just take a guy on YouTube for his word and get excited about a company, that you do your own research in a company. Keep in mind, I'm not a financial advisor, not at all. I get lucky picking stocks sometimes, and I've done well as an investor and a swing trader. But I'm not an expert, and I'm not a financial advisor, and I'm definitely not an expert in rare earth metals. But I'm excited about this company because of the growth potential in the entire EV space and renewable energy space. And I mean, this company is already profitable. Now, the company, from a market cap standpoint, is worth about $1.5 billion. But they have $1.7 billion in assets. I mean, this is, for me, this is a no-brainer. This really seems like a no-brainer. Now, this Mountain Pass site that MP owns, it has kind of a troubled past. There have been companies very recently, 2015, Molycorp files for bankruptcy. They were the last company that mined Mountain Pass. So that may turn some of you off. They may think, oh my God, what happened? Well, they're not processing, right? They were just mining this material. The difference with MP Materials is they're going to be processing this material instead of just mining down the road. But look at this chart. EV supply chain demands a Western Hemisphere supplier, potential to restore critical industrial input to the United States. So look at all these producers in Asia and Australia, and I mean, this is where it's all at right now. MP is the only one. They're the only miner right here. That's it, at scale. And they provide 15% of the raw material to the entire market in the entire world. They talk about potential end users. So this has a Tesla component. Ford is pumping billions of dollars into their EV space. GM is as well. Nikola, I don't like seeing Nikola there. That's fine. But they also want to be a provider in Europe as well. So this is going to be important to our national security, but also our allies abroad. They plan to be the only provider in the Western Hemisphere for this, period. And there may be some competitors that jump up, but they're going to have to invest billions of dollars into infrastructure, and MP is going to have first mover advantage here in the Western Hemisphere. So it's really exciting news. Yeah, let's go over some of the other slides here. Really, one of the biggest things for MP Materials is they're in California, and there are some, like with Tesla, for instance, and cobalt. Okay, there was some big issues with cobalt and some lawsuits and child labor accusations and things like that with cobalt, just really very recently. Okay, the mining industry traditionally is not nice to the environment, not nice to their people. It's traditionally a very tough industry to work in. But MP Materials, being in California, they have to be sustainably sourced. California is very tough on the mining industry, and that's really a good thing. They're saying that they're designed from inception with an environmentally friendly green mine. So, like we talked about, they have their post-transaction equity value, $1.5 billion, is below the replacement cost of the mine and their facilities. So when you can get in on a company at the ground floor and you're buying into a company that the market cap is less than their total assets, I mean, that right? Like, it seems like a no-brainer to me, right? So when like Gypsy and I were talking, I was like, okay, you convinced me, right? So I will be starting a position in this company next week, and I'm going to let it ride. So I'm excited for this in the long term, for sure. And again, I'm going to link this in the description. I will post in-depth videos like this every once in a while. One of the tricks that I like to use as a YouTube consumer is to go down into the settings and put the playback at like 1.75 or even 2x, and that way I can get through these videos a little bit quicker. So feel free to do that as well with my videos on these longer ones. I know a lot of you love that I post 2 or 3 minute videos sometimes just to kind of get my point across and go through it. But I think this company deserves a little more in-depth look at what they're doing and the potentials for them long term. So feel free to go down to the settings and speed this video up, okay? This section here talks about why rare earths are critical materials for the coming decades. Like other stock YouTubers, I'm not going to pretend to understand what these things are. I don't understand rare earth materials, but I understand enough about this company to become an investor. But again, I would encourage you to do your due diligence, and I know that some of you down in the comments are going to help me out with what I don't know about this company, so please do that for me. But we're looking at wind turbines, industrial automation, robotics, electric vehicles, drones, electric public transport, electric aviations. Tesla's joked about a lot of things in the past. That's why you have Tesla tequila now, but there's probably going to be a Tesla plane soon once we have those massive batteries, that massive power. I mean, this could come way sooner than you think. So they talk about the automobile supply chain and contribution to GDP, number of jobs, lots of the total addressable income or market for this company is massive, and it's only going to grow. The other shift we see, right, is that governments are mandating a rapid shift to EVs. We've in past videos we've talked about how California is banning all internal combustion engines from being sold in vehicles by 2035. By 2035, that's not very far away. I'll be in my 80s. I'm kidding, I won't. But 2035 is going to come way quicker than we think. We're going to blink and it's gone, right? Now, more and more countries are doing this around the world. So keep that in mind. And that's why we're seeing such a surge in China of like Xpeng and NIO and all these different Chinese providers of EVs because China is saying that 25% of all new cars sold by 2025, 4 years from now even, need to be EV. So this industry is just set to boom. It really is. So they're talking about how global supply right now is going to be unable to meet forecasted demand. EVs alone could consume the entire world's supply within a decade. Now, the reason they talk about this is that the cost for rare earth metals and these magnets that will be produced will probably skyrocket. It will probably go through the roof. And this will be a great thing for MP material because more and more miners will get into this space and MP material will be there to produce the material. And they'll likely be the only producer in the Western Hemisphere for the foreseeable future, okay? Yeah, they talk about how these rare earth magnets are critical for advanced technologies experiencing strong secular growth. So, we're talking everything, right? EV powertrains, we already talked about that, e-transport, wind turbines, robotics, other automotive, but also consumer electronics, HVAC, disk drives, speakers, and 30% of other stuff. I don't even know, right? So there's a huge market for this type of material. It's very, very needed for the world that we're building, right? This electrified world, this world that's going towards, stay-at-home consumer electronics, right? The technology revolution with renewable energies. All of these sectors are really converging to make just a beautiful opportunity for MP material going forward. Powering green energy. There's these rare earth magnets in these wind turbines. They can't run without them. So the other aspect of this, and we've talked about it a little bit, is national security. Rare earths are essential inputs to national defense. And when that's the case, right? When the U.S. industrial complex has to go to China to say, hey, we need some rare earth metals, that's a national security issue, right? So some of you care about that, some of you don't, right? But it is an issue that MP Materials can fix. So keep that in mind when you're looking at this company. And again, I'm going to put this in the description. I want you guys to look over this presentation because it's really, really thorough. Seriously, it's good. There was an executive order a few years ago talking about a federal strategy to ensure secure and reliable supplies of critical materials. The Department of Interior has said there are 35 minerals deemed critical under the definition of this executive order, and 5 separate presidential determinations to address both the upstream and downstream deficiencies in our rare earth and magnet supply chain. That was in 2019. The Department of Defense, Title III funding opportunity announcement focused on light rare earth separation capacity released, and MP submitted a proposal in March of this year. So again, this is important to our national security and the supply chain of these. And MPs, in my mind, MP will be the standout winner. So let's look at the roadmap. What do they plan on doing? Stage 1 is complete. Okay, Stage 1 is the rare earth concentrate that they send to China. China processes it, and we get the Stage 3 magnets. Okay, they're in the process of finishing Stage 2 right now. These are the heavy rare earth concentrates. This stuff here that I have no idea what it is again, right? This is a global market. And then Stage 3 is them being able to produce these magnets that only China really produces right now. China produces like 80% of the supply of this material. So it's crazy. That's a lot, right? And when China controls that much of one thing, that much of the market, right? You could imagine a point at which China's like, nah, we're raising the prices or we're lowering the prices or whatever, right? So it's going to be important for MP Material to be able to process this material here. They're establishing a fully integrated supply chain. They're bringing decades of rare earth know-how to restore domestic supply. So I'm not going to go over this entire thing with you guys, but I think a lot of it is very, very important. So one of the other things, they talked about is they are profitable right now. This company is profitable as we speak. And that's important to note because, again, the assets that this company has is worth more than the entire market cap of the company as of right now. So in my mind, this could double or triple next year. Maybe more. And I'm jumping in. So price increases, strong demand, tight supply dynamic. So right now, prices are pretty low for these rare earth metals. The management of MP Materials, they're trying to be conservative with where they think the price will go based on demand. But the overall estimates worldwide are double what the management projections are. So when we go over numbers here in a second, those are based on the management projections, and they're conservative numbers. Just kind of keep that in mind. So here's what MP is thinking. They're shooting for revenue of $415 million by 2023, which would give them adjusted EBITDA of $252 million. I mean, that's a good return. It's a good return. They are going to be increasing their capital expenditure over the next couple of years because they need to have the processing capability. So just kind of keep that in mind. They will be spending a ton of money over the next few years, but that model has proven to be very effective with companies like Tesla, NIO, Amazon, right? Those companies all lost money for a long time before they started making any money. Tesla just started becoming profitable. NIO isn't even profitable yet. Amazon is a cash cow right now, right? They're bringing in a ton of revenue, but they lost a ton of money, right, over the years, just a ton. Putting the money back into the business. So very, very smart idea from a business sense to do. So they're looking at free cash flow of $138 million by 2023. So this company will probably be very profitable. Now, are these numbers conservative? Yeah, they are conservative based on the management projections and not what the market could become over the next few years. So keep that in mind. These numbers could be skewed to the downside a little bit, and I like that. In most cases, most SPACs overinflate their numbers like crazy to get investors excited. So just kind of keep that in mind. This is a little bit of a more thorough look than I usually do at a company, but I'm excited for this company. I will be an investor this coming week. I'm very, very excited for this opportunity. Thank you, Gypsy Thread, for bringing this to my attention. I'm humbled by you guys every single day in the comments, bringing up these companies to me, because I think these are tremendous opportunities that we have in front of us. It's been a crazy year, guys. It's been a crazy year. For the stock market, it's been great for a lot of us, but it's been a tough year as well. So have a great week this coming week, Thanksgiving week. There's no trading on Thursday, obviously. Again, I'm going to put this in the description below, so keep that in mind, okay? And I want you guys to get in the habit of doing a lot of your own research before you invest in some of these companies, because I learn a ton from you guys down in the comments below after you let me know the different nuances with different companies. Like, I learned a ton about NEO the other day from posting a ChargePoint video. So seriously, keep the dialogue coming down in the comments below. I appreciate it. As always, if you didn't already do it, click that beautiful red subscribe button down below, and I'll see you in the next video.